Hi everybody, Coach Steve here. Welcome back to the VIP video coaching program, video number 12, secret number 10, vision for your life. This is a great one. I love teaching this one. So I want you to know that, your vision for your life includes your life, your business or career, your health, your relationships, and your wealth building. You may decide to shrink things down to a more simplistic vision. Like my vision for my life is 5 simple words. How can I help you? But look, I agonized over that for years because I had other visions that were close, but not that simple. So don't be all elaborate and worried about covering all types of people. Let it be simple for you. When you're involved with your vision for your life, it's fun. You have a definite purpose. That goes back to my buddy Napoleon Hill, to the 1930s and 40s with his Think and Grow Rich book. It invariably comes out as something that you're passionate about, but really it's fun, it's easy, and it's effortless. It doesn't take a lot for me to figure out how I can help you. I've been coaching so long, almost 3 decades. Most certainly I've heard something similar to whatever the heck it is that you might throw at me. A lot of people, in the spirit of fun, have taken a hobby that they love and turned it into a business. Like I could easily become a scuba dive master on a boat down there in Bayonet Point, Florida, where our headquarters is, if I choose or chose to ever retire. Your vision is not your mission. Your vision is for your life. It's an overarching thing. It sees everything. It's not a mission where the sergeant, when I was in the U.S. Army for 3 years as a military policeman, right out of high school, says, go ahead and take that hill, and you either take the hill and win, you fight to futility, nobody wins, or you back off because you can't take the hill. That's a mission. But a vision is more overarching and consumes and accommodates your whole life. The one thing I really like about vision is when you're living your vision, man, you get lost in it. Time passes. Today I have a 12-hour shoot. We're into hour number 10. I don't even feel like I could go another 12, I think, if I really wanted to. See, vision gives you direction and it gives you focus in your life, and lack of vision will give you feelings of being drifting along and a little bit lost. So, even in the Bible, it says without vision, people perish. So it's very, very important. Now, that dream that never ends part of a vision is, for me, I sort of jokingly say my dream never ends because as I'm here coaching today with you, 100 babies have been born, and eventually they're going to need some coaching too. Now, I'll be long gone by the time they become 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, but you get the point. When your passion is about helping people, and many of you it will be, it's easy. Now, your vision is tied into the dream that never ends. It's tied into your your passions, what come naturally to you, but it also ties into values. And most of us have the top 3 values of our life are somewhere like love, family, and honesty or trust or integrity, one of those. So, and it might be for you, honesty, love, family. For somebody else, it might be family, love, honesty. But in essence, those 3 are the 3. So the 3 values I'm talking about are actually values 4, 5, and 6 that I want you to come in contact with. But because love, honesty, and family are already in play, we call these next ones your top 3 values because you've already got the first 3. And we don't want to say 6, it's overarching. And you might recall from some of my past video work, the brain likes humans to learn in 3s. So top 3. So, you would have to determine what are your top 3 values. There's a list of values on the Coach Robin Hood website if you want to peruse that, but I would suggest that you could probably figure out your own values without needing the crutches of a list. Now, I'm going to share with you my top 3 values, but I don't want you to rip me off because that would be lazy and easy for you, unless these 3 are really your 3. And, some people have told me they were. So my number 1 value is courage. And what I mean by that is I'm willing to do what other people are not willing to do. I'm willing to put up a free website with self-help and personal development tools since 2008, 12 years and counting, for free. Who else has done that? Answer, nobody. And they probably won't. So courage to do what others won't. Number 2 is freedom. I got fired 3 times between ages 21 and 28 in 3 different types of industry. That told me pretty quickly I'm not the type of person that's going to work for a boss. Just not gonna happen. I need my freedom. And value number 3 for me is independence. Now, you could say that freedom and independence are kissing cousins, so to speak, but what independence means for me, because remember, our values are all about what they mean for us, not somebody else. So independence for me means I get to do it my way. This is why I have one system. I don't partner with other famous people. I worked in stage-based seminar companies for 8 years while I was coaching, one as the director, executive director of coaching for the whole entire international $40 million company. And you know, it just doesn't make sense to me when the money part comes before the transformational part. So I just do it my way. I have Robinhood. I give stuff away. I don't have an agent. I'm the author. There are no ghostwriters. Everything is mine. I do what I want with it. So what are your top 3 values? Now, this could be a hobby. Some people have turned their hobbies into business, but for you, maybe it's not a business. Maybe it's just something that stays passionate and in your mind quite a bit. You know, anything to do with hockey or anything to do with scuba diving, and I'm all over that. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business or self-help or coaching or like that. In other words, you would do it if it was free. If somebody allowed me to be the statistician for the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, the local team, to my Bayonet Point office, I would do that in a freaking heartbeat for free. I'd find a way to do it. So keep your vision short. Like mine is just 5 words. Yours doesn't have to be that. Maybe a sentence, 2 at the most. But what you're going to want to do is create this vision statement by doing the exercises for your life. Okay, and then that vision statement becomes one of your affirmations for the day, where you're looking at it and being inspired and touched and moved by it daily, weekly, monthly, at the half year, at the quarter, at the full year, maybe until you achieve everything you want around that vision for life. You got to make sure that it's in alignment with your commitments, secret number 11. So vision for life is 10, but it dovetails with secret 11, commitments, secret 12, what do you desire, secret 19, keep score, secret 21, accomplishments. There's a lot, it's contained there. Look, you have to realize you can't help but tell everybody whatever this vision is, right? You just can't keep your mouth shut. You're focusing on your action calendar, secret 7, and letting people know, and all your actions are in alignment with this vision as well. These are the 4 pillars of success. Vision, commitment, what do you want, 1-year plan. They're each one of the secrets, they're all built into the system. Also, your vision for life becomes a great introduction. If you want some words and it's a business, you would say, I'm in the business of, and then whatever you say next is your vision. Mine used to say, I'm in the business of helping people worldwide, regardless of their financial circumstances. And while that's true, that's really the mission, not the vision, of CoachRobinhood.com. But my vision, more backing it up and more global, is how can I help you? 5 words, much easier. I can't help but tell everybody that. Now, once your vision is, the efforts are in alignment with the vision, then you'll start keeping score, secret here, 19, on where you are with that vision. If your efforts are not in alignment with your vision, don't do it. You're setting yourself up to fail. When you keep score about your vision and the score is good, it feels right and it's satisfying and it's fulfilling. So focus on your vision. Don't worry about completing it. You're just learning this now. Just get off the launch pad and get it started, and then we can refine it as we go. And then once you do, it'll keep you going. It'll be exciting for you. It'll be fun for you. All right, let's move over now to the workbook. We're on page 22. And this is the heading for the believe section, okay? So a few things I want to call your attention to. You would think that to believe, especially after you've conceived a plan, is easy, right? But it's not. There are many types of beliefs, and that creates confusion for a lot of people. There are 2 types of beliefs: limiting beliefs that are typically negative, and then supportive beliefs, which are typically those that work for commitments and vision and what do you want and all of that. But the problem is that when you're dealing with limiting beliefs, and if you've got little ones around, cover their ears. This might be my one and only F-bomb for the whole program, but they are mind fuck. They fuck with your head, or if you can let the little one's ears go, they're mind frick. they mess with you, they mess with your mind, they mess with your plans. They're not supportive, they're emotionally charged, and they're there to take you out. But look, you have already conceived your entire plan. You've done the section, you've done the 3 compartments, you've learned the 9 secrets, you're applying those. That shouldn't come back. You shouldn't have any mind frick. But you will still have some procrastination if way down deep inside of you, it turns out that you really have a limiting belief about your vision, about your commitments, and about your action calendar, and you're keeping score in your 1-year plan. But knowing all of this as I do, and you will soon, we can diagnose exactly what's going on with you. You see, because in the belief section, there are 5 parts to it. The first is hope. Look, if we don't have hope, we're done. Just stop the freaking video. If you don't have hope, your life is over. It just doesn't work without hope. Because that creates inspiration for you and the motivation for you to keep on going. Eventually, the 4th piece is the transformation piece, where you start to turn from a caterpillar into a butterfly. You take all these 5 areas and they start working out well for you, and you were broken, poor, and pissed off and all of that, and you're using the Take 5 tool and you start seeing money come in. It starts to change things for you. And then finally, there's transcendence, which is really just a fancy word for taking things that are ordinary and transcending them into things that are extraordinary. I want to let you know by now that I've studied the brain for 20 years, but I have a friend of mine, a Hungarian doctor, or Hungarian by descent at least, Dr. Robert Gentes. He spells his name S-Z-E-N-T-E-S. Gentes is the way I pronounce that. My wife's Hungarian, so I have a little inside tip on this. He wrote a book called Mastering Your Mind. Now, it's an amazing book. It's a very clinical book. It's a little dry and hard to read at places, sorry, Robert, but at the same time, man, is there some deep dive material in there. And Robert will help me upon occasion where somebody gives me a mind-bending problem. I'm not a licensed therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, or sociologist, so I'll go to Robert, who's a doctor in the field, and ask him what he thinks about that. So he's the one that shared with me that hope and inspiration and motivation and transformation and transcendence are the 5 key components to believing in yourself, or believing in your plan, or in my case, believing in this whole section, these next 3 compartments, and the next 9 secrets. Okay, bottom of page 22. Once you master this, I want you and I encourage you to inspire somebody else to do the same thing. They can be close to you, could be Siggy, it might be a family member, might be your best friend or a close friend, ex-wife even, your children who are stuck in the middle of a divorce triangle, any of those. Because once you master the system, this one here that I have built for you and for myself as well, and you understand all your vulnerabilities like I have come to understand all of mine, then we can use our passion to help other people. Then we can dream about how this might turn my ex-wife's life around, even though I'm not obligated to do that. That would certainly make life better for your kids. And it takes a little courage to be vulnerable, but I think you're starting to understand this system. You're starting to get to that place. Look, it happened to me. It can happen to you. There's no reason why it can't. Let's now go to page 23. Top of the page, the paragraph talks about that the last sentence there, the dream that never ends. Your vision for your life is grounded in your passion. It should be easy, not like work, or it could be like a holiday. Now, there are 3 detailed exercises here. The first one asks, declare your dream below. Don't hold back. Be as vivid as you possibly be in great detail. You probably won't be able to do this on 3 lines. You probably won't settle on it the first time. Many people go through many iterations until they finally settle. And one of the litmus tests is for you to communicate that to me, and that I would be touched, moved, and inspired, maybe even getting like goosebumps, right? And for you. Don't, I repeat, don't pass the test of Siggy. Don't run it off Siggy before you run it off me, because you're in for a world of hurt if you try that game. So take as much space as you need to create the dream below. Don't hold back. Imagine everything. We'll pull it in, we'll refine it, we'll make it just right. I'm going to nitpick the shit out of every little word of it if I'm coaching you in Top Gun. Second exercise is make a list of all the things that you're passionate about below. Use the second part if you want to. Now, when you're doing this, don't think just do them rapid fire, machine gun type, right? Like, I love scuba, I love my wife, I love my children, I love my grandkids, I love self-help, I love coaching people, I love money, whatever it is, just spew it out, write it down as fast as you can. Don't think, don't think, don't think. There's no thinking required. Final exercise, bottom of the page, make a list of your values, especially values 4, 5, and 6, right? Like courage, freedom, independence, but don't swipe those, do it yourself. Okay? And finally, remember that you have your future to look forward to. That's what we're building this for. This whole section of belief is getting you to believe in the plan that you've conceived and how you're going to attack it and what you're going to achieve. So make sure you're on target with this. Do these exercises. They're very, very important. Next for you is video number 13, secret number 11, commitments right here. We'll talk about that when I see you next. In the meantime, don't spare any time, energy, or effort on vision. Spend as much time as you can and you need to here to get the clarity on this, remembering that you need to touch, move, or inspire me when you communicate it to me. You know, it would almost be like one of your heroes, like Jesus or Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi, would come over to your house, knock on the door, you'd pull the door open, and they asked you a question, what do you do? I would give them my 5 simple words. That would be enough for me, right? I help people like you, or whatever. So what would you say to them? What would that vision statement be if you had only that one encounter, only that one time to tell Jesus, Mahatma Gandhi, or not Muhammad Ali, I have a brain block, you know how I was talking about. I could see the picture in my mind. But imagine a guest like that you had to communicate your vision and you could not mess it up, Martin Luther King. Okay, so go at it, spend a lot of time on this. If you're stuck or stopped, reach out to me by email, coachsteve@coachrobinhood.com, or give me a call, or at least the office a call, and they'll tell me, 1-800-517-8030. Coach Steve, get that vision for your life. Critically important to be successful for the rest of your life. We'll talk to you soon. Coach Steve, bye for now. This one's important. Get on it. Bye-bye.